Thank you.
Snooze.
It's too easy to snooze them.
I've had to get a separate app for my alarms.
Really?
That will just like, it's so annoying. It's
Yeah.
the most
Please
awful
don't
thing.
pay for it.
No, don't pay for it.
Okay, thank God.
But it's like, if you don't turn it off, and then you've got like tasks that you have to do for the alarm to turn it off.
Shit. Oh, yeah, I know these.
Yeah.
There's
So
like, I've heard of a robot alarm that you have to like chase around your bedroom to turn it off. Like, that's the only thing
that
would
is
work
the
for me.
one. I mean, if
That's
anyone's
amazing.
going to
How
do it,
rich
that
people think
will.
will fix their lives. Yeah.
I'm just gonna get I've got a cat. I'll just put an alarm on my cat.
Yeah,
Oh, that's an idea. That's
Going.
get innovative about it.
Oh, you gotta. But I think, are we all happy to crack on?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Manchester Independent Theatre Podcast, or MITPod. I'm Caroline.
And Amelia.
And we are here with FlatPack Theatre Company, our special guest this week. So I'm absolutely thrilled to get into their back catalogue, everything they've got on, what they've got coming up, what they've been up to. Hi guys, lovely to have you on.
Hello. How are you?
Really good, really
Really
excited to talk to you.
Oh yeah, we've been excited for this as well, yeah.
Before we get into it and
Yeah.
everything that you've got going on, we like to do a little bit of a what's on in Manchester, just to kick
okay.
things off.
Okay.
So we have a couple of shows that we just want to give a shout out to.
Yeah,
Go
we
for
do.
it.
Yeah, hell yeah.
We have Offcut coming up. Offcut is taking place at 53.2 between the 24th of June and the 4th of July. If you've not heard of Offcut before, it's one of the UK's most successful platforms for undiscovered writing, acting and directing talent. So 20 short plays, will run in rep over 2 weeks with audience members voting for their favourites. And the top 8 will play again in an exciting final show, after which the winning play will be revealed. And you can vote for it. So book on to Offcut. There's different plays on different nights, so be sure you know what you're seeing on what night. You just need to go to the 53.2 website to book. So yeah, and I've got a play in there, so vote for me.
Go and support our Caroline.
Definitely not biased. Definitely not biased.
Not at all. No, it's not. Like, to be fair, there's so much fantastic talent. It's gonna be.
It is always a great, every year, the amount of talent on display is just incredible. So definitely worth getting yourself to 53.2.
It's brilliant.
And we're also going to give another shout out to Rocket Whip, who we did a few episodes ago. Let everybody know about a casting opportunity for Rocket Whip Productions' new musical fairy tale Luna Luna. And now it's time to look out for the show itself. So Luna will be coming to the Greater Manchester Fringe in early to mid-July. So keep an eye out on Rocket Whip's socials for further details. That's at rocket.whip on Instagram and Rocket Whip Productions on Facebook.
So we're going to be linking everything, all the mentions, all of the events, etc. in the descriptions below, and there'll also be an Instagram post going out about it later on at @mit_pod. So keep an eye out for those if you want to learn more about what we're calling out. But it is time to introduce our special guest.
Special guest of the week. I'm very excited to introduce FlatPack Theatre. So FlatPack Theatre are a Manchester-based theatre company. FlatPack was founded in 2023 by Frederick Torrance and is held up by a full team of creatives including Frederick, Felix Ramsden, Poppy Kirkham and David Collinge. They stand by an FOAC theatre practice, which is all about putting the focus on the actors and performers, bringing amazing stories to life. They are big advocates for original stories and plays written by or adapted by a member of their community, and are always creatively pushing themselves and boundaries to create something new and compelling. They are currently promoting their next show, Two Bozos in a Van, which will be on at 53.2 on the 6th of July, and then again at the King's Arms on the 15th of July as part of the GM Fringe. So very excited that we're joined today by two of the core creative team members of FlatPack Theatre, Frederick and David. Welcome.
Hello.
Thank you so much.
Hi there, guys. I mean, this sounds so exciting. How long have you been sort of developing this play that's coming up, Two Bozos in a Van?
I mean, so I came up with like 2 rough ideas that had nothing to do with each other. Me and Felix Ramsden, we have been friends since uni, and we've always been talking about we want to do some sort of duo comedy thing for like since the moment we met each other. And then also I had this separate idea. Is I used to work with like a man and van kind of company, and I heard like lots of stories. I don't know how true they were. Some stories were like things that we kind of like joked around when we were working around about things that could have happened and all that stuff, and I was like, someone needs to write a play about this. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna write a play about
I'm
it.
going to be that person.
Exactly, yeah. And then one day it just kind of clicked, like, why not combine the two? And then I came up with a great name of Two Bozos in a Van. which I then changed like 3 times, and I was like, why am I overcomplicating it? 2 Bozos and the Vat is the best name.
It's what it says on the tin,
exactly,
isn't it? People know what they're getting.
Yeah, and then we really wanted a 3rd cast member to kind of fill in all the additional roles, and luckily we were blessed with David here. We've been friends since college.
Yeah, we have.
We reconnected, was it like... Had I just graduated uni?
Yeah, so we went to college together.
Yeah. Big up Pendleton.
Big up Pendleton College in
It's a great
Salford.
college. I've been there recently to do a workshop.
Awesome.
Oh,
Great
really?
place. Love Pendleton College.
Small
Great.
world, eh?
And we went our separate ways. You went to Salford Uni, I went to Performance College, which is just over the road. And we both sort of finished our training around the same time. And then I get a message on Instagram. Be like, hey mate, long time no see.
Defo not stalking you.
Do you want to be in this show we put on every year called Pint of Theatre? It's like a community-led project. We get a load of people who maybe don't have the funding or the ability to sort of make their shows a reality, and we give them a stage. We give them a free rehearsal space, and we say, like, create what you want to create. There are no boundaries. There's nothing like that. Just make the work you want to make.
Great.
Do you want to be a part of it? I was like, yes. I'd be stupid to say no. So, of course, I was part of it, and then we flourished together.
Yeah, snowball from there, yeah.
I had the opportunity to direct a show myself with you.
Yeah.
When You Die, which we did at last year's Fringe.
Yeah.
And that was amazing.
How that kind of happened, though, was like, you auditioned for one of the roles, and then you auditioned for another, and then another, because we couldn't decide which one we liked you in. And then we were like, if you're so good in every role, why don't you just direct it? And you're like, that's a good point. And you just started directing it.
That's such an interesting way of choosing a director.
Yeah, exactly,
I love that. All the best directors, in my opinion, should have some acting experience.
100%.
And if they've literally
It really
auditioned
lends
for-
itself.
Yeah.
I think, absolutely.
Yeah, and if they've auditioned for the actual play and, like, you know, have a great understanding of each role, so much the better. I think that's a great idea. But that's really cool. And I feel like the vibe I'm getting from 2 Bozos in a Van is, like, it sounds really, really fun, but it also sounds like it harks back some really classic stuff. Like, I don't know if you know of, like, the
100%.
Plank and stuff like that, like old silent comedies, whereas there's lots of physical comedy, there's lots of, like, gags.
Well, we sort of put a lot of the basis in, because we're all sort of producing it together.
Yeah.
We put a lot of the basis into, like, sort of classic British comedies.
Yes.
Like Bottom, Only Fools and Horses, Faulty Towers especially. It's a lot of, like, harkening back to other things.
Yeah.
So we harken back to those comedies, they harken back to, say, like, old, like, black and white slapstick comedies. They go back to Commedia, they go back to there.
Yeah.
It's just
Double act.
it's just the same jokes rehashed over and over again.
We're
We are
always
original.
inspired by the greats, you know?
Inspired sounds a lot better than rehashed.
No, it's so the thing is, there's such an audience, there's such like a community behind pieces like that. So I
And
feel
comedy
like,
is such a great tool. It brings people together. Everyone sits down and you're gonna have a good time, you know.
Exactly.
And that's a great thing to do as well. If you're bringing people together just to poke fun at, you know, the world or ourselves, it's a great opportunity for that.
yeah.
And I spent a lot of my training around comedy. I spent some time training with clowns.
Amazing.
A wonderful man called Philippe Gallier in France.
which
who
our
passed away very, very recently.
Oh, sad to hear that. I didn't know. Passed
Natalie
away.
Patuzzo.
Natalie
I think
Patuzzo.
also, we calling back to a few episodes ago, and she was also a clown, and she mentioned, I think,
She
Philip
mentioned
Gallier as
Gallier, yeah.
well.
Yeah, he is so influential, and he has this idea that all theatre, not just clowning and comedy, but all theatre in general, should start from joy and the love of making theatre.
Absolutely.
So it's, I've put my whole soul into that idea, and definitely through this production of 2 Bozos, we're doing it for the love of the game.
Oh, 100%.
It's also nice to do a bit of a selfish play for once, because it's very much for us as well. I mean, every play that you've wrote has been to help yourself grow and to do stuff for yourself, like
100%. I mean, I always said that.
2.5 Shots, When You Die,
Yeah.
like it's all been about growth and development, and this one is I think having fun and learning to enjoy yourself is just as much development as anything else.
100%. Couldn't agree more. Absolutely.
With my first ever play, 2.5 Shots, at the time I didn't realise it, but I was actually an alcoholic. And then, like, while writing the play, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm an alcoholic, and I'm writing a play about alcohol, and now I'm close to 2 years sober.
Oh, congrats.
And then with around When You Die, my childhood dog had passed away, my granddad passed away, and like it was a weird, like, again, like it's a strange occurrence where like art was copying life or life was copying art, and it like helped myself kind of adjust to those things, you know, doing a play all about death and like how people respond to that while dealing with it myself was just really beneficial. It's like writing's my therapy at this point.
It can be very cathartic.
Yeah.
I think.
100%. Yeah. Really
It
is.
sounds really healthy. It sounds like as long as you're comfortable and confident sharing that then with an audience, it's a great way of communicating. And also, it's like so many people in the audience will have the same experiences. They'll maybe have a complicated relationship with alcohol. They'll certainly have a complicated relationship with death. And it's not something that people talk about easily. And I think putting that out in a creative space and like allowing people to absorb it how they want to and come to it in their own way. Yeah, that's what theatre's about. You know, even with comedies, people often think that comedies are more light-hearted or more superficial, but again, they're catharsis, aren't they?
Yeah, because you can have, you know, so much comedy and then you can really hit the audience with those moments, those poignant moments. And I think, as you say, the pouring a lot of yourself into that piece as well, I think that will always resonate with an audience. I think an audience always can connect very much with something that is very deeply embedded with truth and honesty. And so I love that. I love that you were able to kind of create something out of that.
But as well, like, and I'm going to repeat myself from I think our previous episode, but one of my favourite quotes is from a music producer called Rick Rubin, who says the audience comes last, and he talks about making work that he himself would enjoy and that matters to him. Because if you think about it, he's not like in a vacuum, he's part of a demographic. So he's like, I would like to listen to this music, and so that means that anyone like me will probably also like to listen to this music. So instead of going, what do the audience want, and desperately trying to like pander to a particular audience, it's like, no, just make it for yourself. Just make it for yourself, and the people who are like you, if you know, obviously you market it right, they will come to it and they'll find it.
I think that's all you can do, really. Like we've reiterated to any writers, I think just drawing from something that you feel really strongly about or that you're really entertained by, you know, you find it funny. I think that always will translate. I think it's when your motive is not that, it's not based in that kind of real connection with the piece, where I feel like you might be more likely to lose people. But I love that, and it sounds very exciting as well.
Yeah, it sounds very honest. It sounds like very honest theatre. It really sounds lovely. And it sounds like something that you don't see as much of anymore, that kind of the references to like the old school greats of comedy. Every so often you do get like the best of kind of, or like people reenacting, like playing, you know, original double acts and things like that. But it's great to sort of have something fresh that refers back, which sounds great. I'm really curious actually, like in your bio you mentioned your sort of FOAC theatre practice, which is about putting the folks and acts and performers. Is that something you've coined yourselves?
Yeah, so we came up with folk theatre. I have to shout out Felix Ramsden, he came up with it. One day we were like making sure we were marketing everything right about what our ethos is and all that stuff, and also making sure that anyone who wants to possibly like collaborate on things know what our values are. And so we were like trying to think of a more concise way of saying it. And so, you know, I was talking about the 4 pillars of FlatPack, and then Felix was the one who kind of came up with the acronym and then said, what about folk theatre?
I see, so it's pronounced folk. I love that because it's
folk
got that double
theatre,
meaning. Really cool.
I can't remember if it was either you or Poppy who said it's like for the folks as well.
I'll happily take the credit for it.
Yeah, take the credit, why not? Yeah, it's just like a nice, snappy way of saying it, and just making sure that we kind of hold ourselves to our own standards, rather than just like being like, okay, we know we can't do this project because it doesn't coincide with our values, or how can we adapt this project to make it actually fit with our values?
I really like that. I think that's great, you know, as artists, that you stand by kind of those principles at heart, and that is at the heart of your work and the messages you want to put out there.
It's part of how you introduce yourself. You know, you can't then compromise that. You can't compromise because it's there. Yeah, I love that. And I love the idea of it being folk, because I'm really interested in the concept of folk, because obviously we've got sort of folk stories, folk music, folk tales. But folk just means of the people, of the particular community.
Which art is, you know.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
And also it can refer to any community, any group, any number of people can be part of folklore or folk
100%.
culture. So no, I think that's really, it's a really smart move. It's really cool.
Definitely. And you set up your theatre company now 3 years ago.
Yeah, so I started on my own. Well, I say on my own. My partner, Poppy Kirkham, she was helping me out with it, although she wasn't really a part of the company. And then a good friend of mine, Sophie Stewart, was helping me produce my first show, which was 2.5 shots. But then at the end of it, she was like, said, we're still mates, we're still friends, it's not really me, I want to do my own thing. I was like, yeah, of course. And actually, Felix was meant to be with me from the start, but he was trapped in Hull
Alright.
Yeah, so then he had to go back to Manchester, and he's been with me the whole time. Like I said, then David came along. Felix's partner Verity's been helping us out a lot as well with the more businessy side of it and the more practical side of it. And now we've got like a really nice group and community together. But yeah, it's been an interesting journey from like how we started off to like now what we're doing now.
Yeah, and also we have our sort of core team and our core community, but we're also building that larger community as well with all the people we collaborate with. Like I said, Pint of Theatre that we do every year. The whole idea that we can build a community together, because we the artists, we shape the world around us. It's like people that come to the shows, they listen, the work we're involved in, we're a part of it, we mould the world around us. So the community that we build, we can just build better spaces. Real impact. Even if it's on that community level, we're still making an impact. And it's nice. It's really, really nice to know that we have such a positive community around us, and that we've done that.
That's,
You've cultivated a really positive community around your work through your work, which is, I think, any artist can say is, the ultimate goal, really.
100%.
To be able to grow that and to put something out there that can connect so many people.
I had heard of Pint of Theatre, actually. I didn't actually realise that you guys were behind it. That's great.
Yeah, same.
Have you had it on yet this year, or is it upcoming?
Yeah, so we do it at the start of every year, February.
Oh, lovely. Okay,
So this year's has passed now. But the main concept behind Pint of Theatre as well, the reason why it's called Pint of Theatre, is we wanted to make a show that, like we said, that was for the people and they could show off what they wanted to show off, but also to keep the prices cheap as possible. And we were trying to think of like, what's a good way to market it? So we keep the ticket prices for Pint of Theatre as the same price of an average pint in Manchester.
Oh, I love that. That's a really good way of keeping track of it.
And because we do it at the King's Arms as well, obviously if people want to drink while they're there, they have the pub downstairs, and it's a really nice sort of like... I mean, the King's Arms is such a lovely space.
Oh, it's great.
It's so wonderful. And so, it's that sort of like the homely vibe of a pub. It's like, if you grew up in that sort of that working class sort of council estate sort of community, then you've probably grown up in like in a working men's club or a pub or something like that.
There's always a central hub of the community.
There's a central hub of the community.
Tends to be
it tends to be a pub. So like Pint of Theatre is sort of like
a really cool.
For me, it's what calls back for me is that sort of community space.
I think actually one of the people that was in Pint of Theatre this year, you had on your podcast, is Andy Farhan.
Oh, Andy!
Oh
my gosh! Do you know what? I was expecting you were going to say Andy, because Andy is everywhere.
We love Andy.
This man gets places.
In it, every time I've been to a show recently, it's like, Andy's here!
I love Andy.
He's amazing.
He's
what a lad.
amazing.
He's brilliant.
I can't wait to work with him again at some point. Yeah,
No,
he's great.
Fantastic.
And that was our first year working with comedians.
Yeah. One of my friends came to me and said, I want to try stand-up. And I was like, well, try out Pint of Theatre. And for me, it was quite tough because I was like, if he's not good, how do I break that to him?
Yeah, it's difficult because it's a different vibe, isn't it? To like the Frog and Bucket or something like that. You've got
Luckily, he was good. Luckily, like it was a good set.
But that's good. It kind of breaks the ice then, and you've got that experience now to support
100%.
future comedians.
Yeah,
That's
we also
so
had
cool.
Litbim on doing a sketch show which he hadn't done the year before. There's a lot more comedy this year, which was, I think, helped break the ice. Last year was like, so the first year was very serious.
Madison.
Yes,
she will also be on the podcast.
Yeah, upcoming guest.
We're very excited to chat to her.
Preview, sneak peek, okay.
Yes, I know those guys are great talent.
Yeah, we love Litbim. Yeah.
Litbim are amazing.
I think they got a show coming up as well, actually, yeah.
Oh,
Get tickets to
interesting.
that,
Yes, we will be we'll drop the deets.
In the description. Yeah, absolutely. But I think as well, like talking about pub theatre, we've talked about our love for pub theatre as well, because you're on the Fringe, obviously so many venues are pub venues.
Yes.
And it can be difficult because obviously people who are teetotal, who are dry, who don't want to be in a pub, it does make it difficult. But with the inverse, people who have never been to the theatre before might just be going for a drink in the pub, see a poster and go,
I can fancy that.
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah.
And that might be their little gateway drug, as it were, to like the rest of the Fringe and seeing what's, and maybe they'll end up being theatre people, because it can be quite intimidating. It can be it looks pretentious, it looks a bit highbrow. And I really want to get rid of that image, because it's really, really cathartic, it's really therapeutic, and it's like helping us relearn our empathy, because we've been holed away since COVID. We've been working remotely, and I think we've kind of forgotten how to engage with people and how to like absorb one another's feelings in a really sensible, heartfelt way. And I think live theatre is the way to do it.
And theatre takes so many forms, and like you're saying, making that kind of accessible to everybody. And I think sometimes, if you don't go to see shows that often, you kind of think of a theatre show as being on a massive grand stage. But it can be anything, and in these really intimate spaces on a tiny little postage stamp stage, in the back room of a pub. And I love pieces like that as well. You feel as an audience member so connected to the performer because it is very kind of in an intimate small space, and it can really take in so many different forms.
And it's about the work rather than big spectacle. On the Fringe, the majority of people do not have the funds for like massive production values.
They
and,
don't have the means and
fireworks
that,
and shit.
And sometimes they can be very early in development as well, and so they haven't got all of that in place at this stage. And
it focuses on the text, it focuses on the performance, and you're not being blinded by all kinds of crazy stuff. So
and that's literally what's the core value of FlatPack. Literally, like we said in folk theatre, like the focus on the actors. We try and keep the set and props as minimum as possible, because I think I was in London seeing, I think it was Aladdin or something, and I just realised at one point I wasn't looking at any of the performers. I was just looking at the sets and the props and all stuff and going, oh, that costume looks really nice and all stuff. And like, there's nothing wrong with that. Like,
that's amazing.
They are amazing. The people who do them are fantastic. I'm very good friends with lots of them. But like, I went there to see a good show and a good a bunch of performers and all that stuff. And then that's why, like, with FlatPack, we try and focus on the actors and the text, like you said. But also, it's like, it kind of fits, with the name, because it's, you can flat pack all of your stuff and put it in a van and take it wherever.
That was my next question. I was going to say, where did the name come from? Because to me, it spoke of being transportable, being producible, being able to just pick everything up and take it from place to place. And it's a producer's dream, that, honestly.
Tell us about it.
That's good fun as well for you guys, and to have that sort of flexibility with it.
Yeah, and it's quite ironic that you've had man and van experience, but you probably don't need a transit to take your stuff around. You're probably all right.
Real.
But the way the name came around, it was sort of like, I don't want to call it an afterthought, but it was like you'd sort of thrown the name away, and then come back to me like, you know what, that's actually really good.
Yeah, I was talking to, I think it was either my brother or my mother, about like, if I wanted to start a theatre company, what would I call it? And like, FlatPack Theatre was just a name. I was like, oh, that just sounds like, something that someone would call. And then like a week later, I was like, that's actually a pretty cool name. And then I kind of regretted making fun of it, and I was like, if I made a company now, would anyone mock me for that? And I was like, yeah.
We didn't hear you say that.
I should have told you. Oh, no! Delete it.
No, but I love it because it feels like you've just got a really strong brand. The whole folk thing, the whole FlatPack thing, the whole pub theatre thing. It's accessible. It's sort of simple, but in a sort of really well curated way. Yeah, I admire your branding. It's very good.
Well, I mean, for me anyway, because we're sort of so strong on the market and the branding, it's sort of like, here's who we are, what we are.
Yeah.
That's very
out the way.
easy for you to pitch
Here's the
yourselves.
theatre.
Like, you've got a very clear idea of what you want to do and who you are, and a strong identity to present to the world.
It's
great.
We can present it so easily, and it's sort of, for me, it's that we can just give that to you and sort of get out of the way, so we can pour all of the focus onto the actors into the theatre, where all the hard work has gone with the amazing performers that we work with.
Yeah.
It's like, we've made the branding so strong, and really so we've really sat in it, and we've made it ours. I think is what I'm
100%.
most proud of. It is us.
It's what we find funny and we find entertaining, like what we would watch on our own.
Of course.
Yeah, and that's one of the best ways to develop something. As we said before, the closer it is to your tastes and your preferences, it's going to convey very, very easily to an audience. So, no, that sounds great.
I can't remember who said it, but it was I think I was watching a TED Talk, and someone basically said, in this like kind of modern world of like, brands going to be seen as like evil and all that stuff, and like these giant corporations, we're no longer like should be trying to sell the product, but sell the people behind the product. People don't just want to pay for something and then have it. They want to feel as though they're investing to something they love and that they can like support. Yeah. It's like where someone might be willing to spend like £10 on a coffee, but that coffee is from like ethically sourced and like it's bloody good coffee, rather than spending £2 on a coffee from like an evil corporation that funds whatever. And that's like the big thing of FlatPack, is them being able to see the people behind the magic and being like, okay, I actually would gladly support those people.
Yeah, see the inner workings of it.
Yeah, exactly,
I love
100%.
that.
Seeing the skeleton, behind the flesh,
Yeah, I love that.
We don't do a traditional sort of.
God no.
we don't do a traditional curtain call in terms of the end of the show. We don't have the sort of traditional sort of like bow, clap and all that sort of stuff. We will physically pull everyone on the stage
Okay.
and sort of send our voice, send our message,
Oh, cool, I
and really
love
sort
that.
of like talk to the audience directly
Yeah.
about it. Of course, we thank the producer that they're working with, and the technical support that we have. But we'll always come on stage and we'll always be like, we always thank the audience for being there.
That's
And
cool.
make sure they
Without
feel-
trying to do the whole I'm the director, I get to bow. I remember for the first show I did, one of our actors, they turned around to me and said, next time don't come on stage because it seemed like a little bit pretentious, and I was like, okay, next time I go on stage to say thank you for coming, I'm going to make sure that I'm trying to be as unpretentious as possible. But like we said, some people do want to see, for example, we want to come support me, so they do want to see, me, or they want to see David, or want to see Felix, and it's a good way of helping them see that.
But also, I think there's this weird culture of, obviously actors work really incredibly hard,
God, yeah.
and there's a lot of stuff that in certain shows they have to do that's very difficult, that's intimate, that's dangerous, that's, obviously health and safety and risk assessments are always done. They obviously need to be applauded for that. But there's a strange culture of people who are behind the scenes stay behind the scenes. Like stage managers are never seen, producers are never seen, directors might get pulled on the last night. But they're all part of it, even if you don't see their faces on the stage. Audiences
It's
aren't
a big
stupid.
machine, and everyone is so vital, in that whole team of people. It's lovely to showcase them and bring those faces out to the audience.
Yeah, it's not just us that come on stage. It's also we try and if they don't want to come on stage because they're not comfortable, we like to get the other people in FlatPack to either we shout them out or they come on stage to have a bow.
On their behalf,
to be shout out to them because they've done a fuck ton of work. They deserve to get a shout.
Like the bows are the moment. The curtain call traditionally is the moment where the magic's broken anyway, because why are all these people coming on and bowing?
Yeah.
You might as well. The audiences aren't stupid. They're not going to be like, who are all these people dressed in black? I didn't see them in the play.
Yeah.
That must be the reason why people didn't used to do that.
But
then why
break
not?
the illusion.
Because the illusion's already broken. People who have died in the play come back on and bow.
Yes,
come on. Let
yes.
the director come on. Let the stage manager come on. If they can get different parts,
why not? Just get everybody
Do
out.
it.
Yeah.
Have a little
If
party.
there's enough space on the stage, just get everybody.
No one's saying why is Macbeth and Macduff smiling at each other.
Having a little hug.
That's not right.
Mind blown.
I want my money back. They didn't actually die.
This is not real.
Where's the
Sorry,
commitment?
spoilers for Macbeth, by the way. If you've not seen
Oh,
it.
it's exploding.
Oh god.
Spoilers.
We're so sorry.
Yeah.
Anyway.
No, the curtain call, we definitely give everyone a lot of love.
yeah.
Although I was actor trained, I will always be an actor first. As a director, I will just sort of put everyone else to the wayside and go, listen, actors, we're all together. This is our little team.
Yeah.
My wonderful boyfriend Benjamin Hatt, who's a writer, was helping out with one of our shows. And he turned to me after the show, we were walking home together. He's like, when you're directing, you're such a dick.
Do you know what?
I was like, what do you mean I'm lovely? It's like, yeah, to the actors, to everyone else, you're awful. It's like, so I had to properly okay, be nice to everybody else.
I can
No, you
vouch for that.
You can have a director persona though. He's hard to please.
God, yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm such a hard ass.
I'm pretty sure you turned to one of them and said, if I do not cry by the end of this, you have failed. I was like, whoa.
That's a challenge to throw down.
It's back to the sort of the Gollier stuff.
Oh yes.
Gollier, when he worked with him, he has a drum. And if you bang the drum, he's gonna rip the shit out of you. He was properly. There was one time we were doing this little sort of clowny improv session. Bangs the drum, looks at me and goes, "You're a real bitch, aren't you, James?" And I was like, "Okay." He's like, "No, it's good. It suits you. It suits you being a bitch. Own being a bitch." I was like, "Okay, sure." But it's the idea of if you build a space in the rehearsal room where everyone can be comfortable and vulnerable and know that it is a completely safe space to have the opportunity to express whatever, however, and making sure that everyone feels listened to and
safe
and they have the freedom to create. Yeah, you build that chemistry with everyone, and you can it's that sort of homogenous space of creativity that you can have.
Throwing out sort of observations and comments and stuff. And I know certainly in the theatre there are the elements of, I don't want to say hierarchy, but there are elements of etiquette where, for example, if you're a writer who is acting in their thing that they've written and someone else is directing you, you then have to have separate spaces for notes about your writing and notes about your acting. Otherwise, it all gets very blurred and you can go round and round in circles, things like that. But once you understand where you stand, and once you understand what everyone's approach is and what the relationships are, and when you are allowed to defend a note, when you are allowed to, make comments or make suggestions, you'll get into a flow of it, and you'll there won't be fallings out. There will be just, this is how it works.
Well, I mean, for When You Die, one of the things I was sort of really proud of sort of the actors for is we had sort of a sapphic romance be like a really intrinsic part of the show.
Lovely, yeah.
And obviously, as a man directing a sapphic romance, I really wanted to put the emphasis on this isn't my story to tell.
Okay.
Yes, I'm a queer person. I'm a bisexual man. I was part of the queer space, but the sapphic romance is not my story to tell. So there was a moment. It's like not long before we were gonna perform it. It's like a really sort of intimate scene with them, and it's like the moment where they sort of like actually open up to each other. I was like, right, everyone get out, including me, and we sort of left them in the room so they can have the space to themselves and really work on it together. And it came out so nice and so
natural and
unimportant in a good way. So I wanted to, especially when I want to show queerness on stage and sort of have that be a part of the show, I want it to be normal. It doesn't have to be the forefront of the show.
Yeah, the story doesn't have to be about the fact that people are queer.
It doesn't have to be there are these people and they are gay. Like that's not the important bit.
That's not a storyline anymore, really. Everyone knows that there are people that are gay.
Exactly.
The plot is they're gay.
You just want to showcase the connection between these two incredible
It's not about
actors,
who they are, their
characters.
religion, their race, their creed, their whatever. It's about the interpersonal connections and what drives these people. That's all that matters. So I tried to sort of push that, and we tried to do it in all the shows.
Yeah, I mean, even with the writing of that, I didn't write it to be a sapphic romance. I just wrote all the characters as though, they were genderless.
You do write your characters in a sort of very sort of...
I like to try and pick gender neutral names. So, for example, with the first one, it was Danny, Ash, and Fletcher, and then the second one of the characters is called Yuri. And Yuri's more of a traditionally male name, but the person who played Yuri was female presenting. So, and then the person that played Finn, again, Finn's usually seen as a male presenting name, was also was a female presenting, and then it just became a sapphic romance. It wasn't planned. It just became that way, and that's why it doesn't feel like it's a look gay. Look, guys, gay. It's
Klaxon's going on.
Exactly.
Give us an Oscar.
Where's our award for our gays? Come on. Yeah.
But no, absolutely. I think that's really lovely. I think that's a really good way to do it. And also the acknowledgement of this isn't my story to tell. I think, yes, it's very important to, like, I do a little workshop about writing issue-based theatre.
Yes.
And I'm very much of the opinion of, yes, write about what you know. However, a lot of us don't know very much. I don't know very much. So I think as long as the story you're telling as the central story is something that you have some kind of ownership of, you can populate your play with people from all walks of life. You can have people of all kinds of gender identities, racial identities that are not yours, as long as you don't try and tell their story. Don't put words in the mouth of a character that you don't have any connection with. You can do that if you are partnering with another creative who is from that background, and you have give and take. You get them on board as kind of an advisor. Don't pigeonhole yourself to, I am a white woman in her 30s. I can only write about white women in their 30s in the entire cast. But I think that
it's giving people their space and letting them have the mic,
Yeah, exactly. And don't try and dictate what their lives are as well.
Yeah, I mean, it was written as the turmoil is the fact that one's a vampire, the other one's a werewolf.
Amazing.
Very
so
therefore,
cool.
like, the drama doesn't come from if it's queer, if it's just an unrequited love, whatever. It's not about that. It's about a werewolf who has a limited amount of time in their life because, the degradingness of the lycanthropy, and a vampire who literally has an immortal
has
length
eternity.
of time. Yeah, it has eternity. And it literally, and there's a line of it where it says, it would be a day to me.
Wow.
And the other person says, what a perfect day.
Oh.
And it's
love
like,
that.
the love of it, it's this concept that we could never consider, yet at the same time we can strangely relate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's where I kind of like wanted to, When You Die to kind of land in that strange, perfect middle ground.
That's a great concept. I love that.
Thank you, yeah.
And I think at this point we need to go back through our What's On.
We give a little bit of a callback then to the first couple of shows that we introduced.
So we have Offcut coming to 53.2 from the 24th of June to the 4th of July. Like I said before, there are 20 different plays, so when you're booking, make sure you know what one you're booking for. And there's also a final, so look at the 53.2 website to get booking for that.
And then we're also giving another shout out to Rocket Whip Productions. Their new musical fairy tale Luna Luna is coming to the Greater Manchester Fringe in early to mid-July. So keep an eye out on their socials for that. And that is rocket.whip on Instagram and Rocket Whip Productions on Facebook.
Yeah, but that's our What's On. We always ask our guests, like, if they have any kind of insights, any kind of advice for listeners.
I know that you guys have, as many people do, wear different hats and do so many things. But yeah, just any advice for our listeners who might want to put on a show and where they could even get started with something like that, or anything that you want to share in general.
I mean, it sounds like very simple, but because obviously I started it on my own with the help of some friends, literally just do it. It sounds super stupid, but like it just started off by I sent an email seeing how difficult it would be to book a venue. It's hard, obviously, trying to like come up with the perfect concepts and all stuff. But the more you bog yourself down in perfection, you'll never even get good. You know? And so with my writing style, I like to just write something, leave it alone for like a week or so, come back to it and go, who the fuck wrote this? This is rubbish. I hate it. Why do I hate it? Let's change it all up. And then I do that a few times. I come back and then got the one I want.
Well, our last guest, Natalie Beach, said that finish is better than perfect.
Oh,
so,
100%.
absolutely.
Yes, I think
100%.
so many people stand by that, and that is good advice.
Yeah.
Because you could never be happy with it, would you? You just tweak it forever. So there has to come a point where I think you're just satisfied with, right, I'm going to leave that now. I'm going to put that out there and just be proud of yourself for doing that.
And the just do it kind of comes through every stage, doesn't it? It's like just book the venue, just find some mates to put it on, just decide when it's finished.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Caroline and I have a WhatsApp group now where you just tell me to just get on with it. Get on with it.
It's titled "Get the fuck on with it," and on the first of every
we
month,
get a little announcement from
it's always
Caroline.
passive aggressive. Last time I just went chap chap.
It's very effective.
It's for
Would
writing
recommend.
actually.
Yeah, it's also like that. There's a lot of lines that I've written, and then when we've got into the directing space, I've been like, that's rubbish.
Yeah.
Why did I write that?
Get
Gross. Change it. Literally, in When You Die, there was a catchphrase that King, shout out King, we love him, that he kind of came up with, which was, he said like, fascinating constantly. It kind of became like how the Christopher Eccleston said fantastic as his doctor. It became his thing. Like he would constantly say that, and like I only wrote fascinating once. And he just kept on doing that. I was like, that's so much better than what I wrote, you know. And then like in 2.5 shots, the best lines were all improvised because I added sections where I was like, right, actors, this is your subject. You're going to improvise from now on.
I love it.
And they came up with so much better lines than me. And like someone came up to me after the show and was like, I love this bit when they said that, and I was like, yeah, I didn't write that. Didn't write that bit.
Be open then to absorbing the ideas of other creatives,
Yes,
I guess. Yeah.
exactly.
Improvisation is so incredible, though. I'm always in awe, of what can come out. You give people the scenario and who they are, and just let it kind of unfold. I
was literally at Dropouts improv night last night.
Ah.
It's so good. I think actually Natalie was there as well. I think she
Wouldn't be surprised.
came up on stage and like helped them out with it. Yeah.
Do you know what? I just saw an Instagram post of that, so yes.
Okay.
You are correct.
Okay, cool. Yeah. It was actually funny. I ran into so many people there.
Amazing.
Went to Casino Improv as well. Shout out them. I think they've got a show coming up as
Oh,
well.
Casino Improv.
Love Casino Improv.
One of my good buddies, Alexi Papadopoulos, is
Alexi,
what a guy. He works with my theatre company quite regularly, so he's
sweet.
He's
Every time
genius.
I see him, he's so well dressed, and it makes me go, why didn't I dress better like this?
What a guy.
Yeah. And then I also went into my friend Arthur, who's got, I think it's ETL Theatre Company. He's also fantastic as well.
You're populating our description for the links there.
Oh yeah, we want to make your job as difficult as possible.
We love this.
It's like
Great, as many names as
We
possible.
love it.
Yeah.
But Dave,
John
do you
Peter
have,
Mark.
do you have any insights as well before we have to wrap up?
Yeah, I will give you a quote from Gollier that I
Amazing.
I stand by.
Who's
100%.
Collier? You haven't mentioned him.
That quote isn't "You're such a bitch."
It's David,
it's
get out of my
close.
house.
It's close. It is either you believe that your parents are right and you go and get a job in finance, or you admit to yourself that your parents are fucking boring and you make whatever you want to make.
That's cold-hearted, man.
Apologies to all our parents, we love you.
We love you so much.
Listen, that's cold-hearted. My parents are very
I love
supportive.
And because of that, it's the reason that me and Fred met. My wonderful mother wanted me to go and study computer science at a college in Manchester.
What a sensible idea.
What a sensible idea.
Very sensible idea.
And
There's an alternate world.
And what I did is I
Oh
went,
God, you're so boring.
and what I did is I went to Pendleton. And
Yeah.
then I met you, and then I went to drama school, and then here we are. Like,
Great.
What an awful timeline.
Which timeline are we in? Are we in the good timeline?
We won't know till the end.
Oh my God.
That is a brilliant quote to end on though.
Yeah.
Very
Thank you
good.
so much.
I love it. And so I'm going to have to do a little housekeeping to bring it to a close, because honestly, we could chat for ages, couldn't we? But I always say that. We could
It's
chat
been
for ages.
It's been a joy. It's been a joy,
Thank you.
honestly.
Yeah, it's been
Absolutely. But if you want to be a guest on MitPod, then all you need to do is email mitpoddy@gmail.com. That's mitpoddy@gmail.com. You don't have to request a guest spot. You can also just give us something to shout out if you've got a show coming up, if you've got a question, if you've got a suggestion, if you've got an opportunity that you want to send out to people, just email us. You can also follow us on Instagram @mit_pod. That's @MIT_pod. And yeah, like and subscribe to us on YouTube and Spotify.
We'll be dropping all the links to all the shows we promote, any workshops that are coming, any events. You can get all of that in our link tree.
Yeah, absolutely. But for now, we've got to say thank you so much to you guys at FlatPack Theatre. You've been wonderful.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And we will
Thank
see
you
everyone
so much.
soon.
Thank you guys. Thank you to everyone for listening.
Bye.
Bye. Give me your bye, I love it. Like a children's show.